defense, half defender, open, because there's only one more player in the backcourt here. But from this open positioning of the half defender, open space is given in the depth behind that defender. So this is the area where now a right back player has to attack too. So she moves with a bounce, using the steps inside that area, and she draws her defender with her. So this is very important, that she was making the move and taking her defender with her. Now the pass is with left back for the second crossing in that moment. And by the time left back receives the ball, she has the free space to move inside the central area of the court. And here we have now, it's almost a classical 2-on-1 situation in the central area of the court. So in that moment, if the defense would step out and attack the backcourt player, she must pass to the pivot. If she's in a blocking position or concentrating on the pivot, in that moment, shooting from behind is possible. So in that way, game advantage, second dimension was worked out or was produced. So these are the two variations of that game advantage. But there's another type of advantage I want to introduce to you. It's quite important to know that. It's the so-called position advantage. And position advantage we have in 3 different variations. First is position advantage first dimension. In this, you can see here, it's an action from a player without ball. This is very important. Game advantage, always with ball. Position advantage without ball. So by the time left back is in ball possession, center back position here is now running around personal defender, taking a better position, because now attacker is closer to the goal, defender is not in the position between opponent and goal anymore. So this is the position advantage. But as long as there is no ball possession, it's not a game advantage. The position advantage turns into game advantage by the time the ball is passed to that player who is free. Then it's a switch from position to game advantage. Without the pass, it's only a position advantage. Nothing more, nothing less. Precondition for this is, as you can see here, space behind or in the depth of the defense. Because the closer the defense is standing at the goal area line, the more difficult it is to come into the position between opponent and goal. So that's why, against open defense, this position advantage first dimension is more likely possible. Second variation of this position advantage we can see here. Now the player without ball is not closer to the goal, but on the same line, on the same height, but closer to the ball. So in that moment, he can catch the ball and break through. Especially for pivots, this is something very important, because the pivot should take a position very close to the 6-meter line. So in that moment, if the ball is passed to him, the defense can only illegally step inside the goal area and destroy the clear chance for scoring. That's why this movement or this positioning is very important for pivots to create this position advantage second dimension, stand in the same line, on the same line, but closer to the ball. Very often we call this screening, what the pivot is doing here. To be honest, I don't like this, because from my point of view, a screen is a type of cooperation. And this cooperation is only given by the moment when the player without ball is taking a position at the defender, close to the defender of the player with the ball. Then this one can use the screen, and then a reaction of the defense is enforced. In the moment the player is taking the good position here, the position advantage second dimension, there's no reaction from the defense in type of cooperation needed. This player should try to go around and cut the pass. Okay, but this is single action in this one-on-one without situation here. So that's why this is something different. If a pivot is taking a position at his defender, it's game advantage second dimension. If he's establishing a position at another defender, then it's screening. Okay, and we have a so-called game advantage third dimension. This can be seen here in that figure. Now you see player without ball on the same line, on the same height as the player in defense, but he's, you might say, in the shadow of the defense. So in that moment, it's not very attractive, but think about the player in defense. As you know from our basic principles in defense, he should make a decision, or he should always observe ball and opponent. Now, if all these three elements, ball and opponent, and I myself, are on the same line, as a defender, I have to make a decision to observe the ball or the opponent. If he's observing to the ball, this player can run free here, and maybe a lob or a bounce pass can come. So in that moment, the player can receive the ball, and from this position advantage, create a game advantage. But it's not only the space in the depth which is needed, it's the space in the width that is needed too for that action. So this is more likely possible in a game situation like fast break or extended fast break. Then this can work. But it's still possible to have that in position attack too, which is shown in that video here. Now, see how the players from Sweden are doing that in a match against Egypt. And here we are. Okay, very short type sequence, very quick type of cooperation, but very well done from left wing and left back. So we can see the action starting by the time free throw executed on the right side. Left wing is outside 9 meters, but immediately after execution of the free throw, he goes to the corner to open the central area. So, and this movement creates some problems for his defender, because the defender tried to observe the ball, which is now with the left back, and try to observe the opponent. Left wing is coming towards the ball and trying to run free in that direction. But in that moment, the defender tries to make an interception. So this is the action the player in attack realizes, and with a turn of movement or change of direction, he is running free in the back of the defender. Now you see the open space, and now you see the nice bounce pass. So from the position advantage, now they have game advantage, first dimension, shooting against goalkeeper only. See it once again in normal speed from the beginning. So it's from the World Championship in Qatar. It was 2015. And here we go. Very easy and very successful. Even in a tactical move, players can make variations to create that position advantage too. So we can see it here again from Romania and Neagu, the left back player, which is so free at the 6 meter line, because she's doing something the defense doesn't expect. So the game is Romania against Puerto Rico, and you can see the Puerto Rican defense very open in that moment. Okay, backcourt players, they go back a little bit. Defense is far outside 9 meter. And after that start, the wing is, the pivot is coming up for a crossing center back with the pivot. So this is a standard move, everybody knows. And after the standard move, everyone expects the pivot to pass to right back. Center back is going to that side. Left back will move inside in the backcourt. But see what happens. The defense, the personal defense against Neagu, she's focusing on the ball. Neagu now is not seen by her, but she sees the very big open space in the back of the defense. So she's running in, creating the position advantage. The ball is circulated from pivot to right back, and now right back has all the time to see left back who was running in the pivot area and easily pass, and she's so free all the time in the world to finalize that attack. So from that you can see that there are different types of advantages, and they can be worked out individually, in small group cooperation, and in team concepts. But very important is to have that game advantage, and normally this is first of all done by the backcourt players. If they do so, then the defense must react. So not every time from that advantage the attackers created, it's easy to finalize the attack. That's why in that moment, the defense can help. And then following action is to pass the ball to the next player. Maybe another backcourt player, maybe a wing position, maybe to the pivot. So these decisions must be made, and this is the pressure for the backcourt players, that they always have to decide, and to decide. Finally, they have to finalize the attack, and if they do it from their side, they should have an efficiency of at least 50%. This depends a little bit on the type of defense we have, especially if opponent's defense is very close to 6 meter line, then the space for wing and pivot is reduced. And then the backcourt positions, they must shoot from outside. Even sometimes in situations when the position is not perfect, but they must try to make a good shoot from outside to draw the defense, to show that they are willing to shoot from the distance. Next time, maybe the defense will step out, so then it's easier to cooperate with the pivot, easier to cooperate with the wing. So if in that moment they need to take some shoots in which the efficiency is not so high, it's not a big problem if they have all together at the end of the game shooting efficiency of 50%. I think we as coaches should be satisfied with them. Now, see some players and their special profiles they have. The first we see here is a player who is of Cuban origin, a player from Cuba, but he was playing for national team of Qatar for a long time now. It's Capote, and you can see him very tall, quite strong, good jumping. So he's shooting from far outside in the air, so that he's shooting without getting touched from the defense. This is something very important. So the less pressure the defense can give, the easier it is to work out a nice shoot. And as you can see here, it's always the idea to shoot to the down corner. So do this after free throw, shooting from outside, no pressure given to him, and then bring the ball hopefully down to the corners. Okay. And as you can see, this player is moving in different ways. Now, in that situation, he is not in the position. He is moving from left to center back position, using 3 steps to go up. So that's a small variation. Now he's in his area, receiving the ball. You can see the ball is here, and immediately after catching the ball, 1 step, next contact, going up and shooting very quick. And this, from my point of view, is something very important now for the players in top level, that they can make variations of the number of steps they use for the shooting, especially less numbers, quicker shooting, fast shooting is important. Here you can see him making a move to the left side, shooting around the defense. So it's not always the inside move, it's the move to the left, shooting around the defense. Now he's coming to the right side again from the center back position, moving to the other side of the court, shooting from right to left corner down. And once again to that side and down. So a lot of shootings from that player, because we can say that he is a classical shooter. Most of the actions from jumping, not so many from the ground. Now, as a different example, we see a female player from Norway. It's Nora Mørk. She, in general, at the first look, appears a little bit too short for a player in backcourt. But she is very explosive and very speedy in her actions. So you can see in that way she is using the shots. Now she's just starting to jump. And in the moment she's going up, immediately she shoots. So this is the speed of action in that moment. So most of the defenders against her, they are much taller than her. So if she will jump to the highest point and then will try to shoot over the defense, she will not be successful, because most of the defenders will be tall and time will be given to them to establish their blocking. So that's why she must shoot very quick, as we can see here again, shooting very fast before the defense is ready to block. And again, here you can see it very nicely in that moment. Now you can see moving inside, and for a very short moment, hand is free. This is the advantage of the free hand. And in this moment, very quick, realize the shooting. So this is typical for her, and this is a special profile on that position. She uses that way of shooting. And from the ground, left leg for a left-handed player in front, creating the advantage to that side and shooting around the player in defense. Okay. Finally, we can see that she's not only shooting, but she is cooperating in a nice way with the with the pivot. Okay, now, Neagu, the name you heard before, is a different type of player, because Neagu is very flexible. She has a real big profile with very many actions on her own. So in the first, you can see her moving to the side with 3 long steps. She was shooting from the left side. Now receiving the ball, going straight and shooting quick. So come up before the block is established, shooting. Same here, one step, 2 against 1 in that space, going up and shooting very fast. And it's a question of the timing we see here. Now the next scene is coming. Again, you know that already. It's the one-on-one to the left hand. So it's a move against the throwing arm using the space on the left. Now she is solving the situation one-on-one with ball, with the outside move. In the next, you can see same in the half position. And in the next, you can see it in the center position, feinting left, moving right, breaking through. So from different distances, she is finalizing the attack. Now, again, this is the screen, which is prepared, but she doesn't use it. She is breaking through. Defense is waiting for her to use the screen. No, she doesn't. Now, without ball, running free. Inside move now, quick shooting. And outside move without ball, creating the position advantage. So you can see how variable this player is, how flexible she is in that way. And this shows the wide range of activities or actions she's able to have. Shooting from the ground, shooting from the air, one-on-one move inside, one-on-one move outside, actions with and without ball. And the wider the profile of the player is, the better it is for the player and for the team. Okay, let's come to the second position, which is the wing. Wing players, they have two aspects which are not so positive for them. First of all, compared to the backcourt players, poor angle to the goal, especially when they move outside. In a certain moment, the wing is in a position that he almost cannot score, or even score, or only score if the goalkeeper is making a big mistake. And the second aspect, which is not very nice in the wing position, is that there is some space missing. Because if you move more inside to run free, try to create space in the width, then you decrease the space of the players in the backcourt. If you move outside, you come to an area which is not attractive because you are close to the baseline of the court. If the defense is open, you cannot go away like you want to, like I prescribed before for the backcourt players, because if you go away from the defense, then you will step out over the sideline of the court. So these two aspects are really a little bit problematic for the players in the wing. According to the game structure, they have less tasks than build-up phase, especially if you see modern handball now in men's handball. Always the players circulate the ball only in the backcourt positions. They never introduce the wings. To be honest, I don't like that. But there is some positive aspects on the wing positions too. First of all, opponents in defense are not the strongest, because stronger defenders are in the center positions against the backcourts. So it's easier to create an advantage in the wings. And second is, if an advantage is created in a wing position, moving inside, the second defender is coming from the center, and then space is created in the center of the court. So this is not too bad. That's why we have the task for the wing players, first of all, again, to open the central area. Second, to attack to the gap between first and second defender. Attack the gap 1-2. Wing defender is 1, half defender, no matter 6-0, 3-1, open or close defense, attack to the gap inside. That's why they must start outside to create the space inside. The more you create inside, the less space you have. So open the central area and attack to the gap between first and second defender. Then the cooperation can follow with a backcourt or maybe with a pivot. And finally, from the wings, we need throwing efficiency of at least 70%. That would be good. So let's see some specific elements for the wings. The first and most important specific element is the movement of the throwing arm. Normally we have this movement shooting from here, but if the players in the wings want to have a better angle to the goal, the movement is outside. So they come up and jumping, secure the ball so that a defense cannot intercept. But then when they're in the air over the goal area, they have to make this move, open the arm and shoot from the side to make the ankle better. So this is some special element that is needed for the players in the wing positions. Second is a variation of the jumping leg, jump from right and from left leg, no matter whether you're right-handed, left-handed player, left wing, right wing position, always must be able to jump from both sides, because sometimes you have to jump after one, after two, maybe in certain situations after 3 steps, and then it should not have an impact or an influence whether you jump right or left. Both must be possible. Then the throwing arm variations for those special shots we have in the wing position, like the lob, like the spin. So very nice technical elements which are really attractive in handball, and variations of shooting against specific movements of the goalkeepers. For instance, if a wing player is flying in, try to make the ankle better and then try to shoot around to the long corner. Sometimes goalkeepers, they go away from the goal post and close the long corner, open the short corner. In that moment, variation must be not to go for the long, but for the short corner. So this is something, specific element of the goalkeeper, and specific variation from the player in attack is needed when finalizing the shot from the wing. Okay, let's see again some nice examples. There's the best right winger from the 2015 World Championship in Qatar. It's Gajic. And you see him with one thing very special, which is the fast break, because it's always the wings, left and right, who are running the first wave in fast break. And very important in that moment is, you can see it here, the timing. So by the time the ball is here, he already starts. So the earlier the player starts, the more he is in front of the defense. Then he has really good chances to finalize one against goalkeeper. So if it's extended fast break, move to the position and shoot from there. And as you saw here, jumping from left leg, no problem for that player. And again, on the other side, see him here, already on the run. And now finalizing the fast break. Very easy. Now you see him in the position, right wing here. And he must be ready, all the wingers must be ready in every moment to start and to receive the ball while moving. So even the ankle now is not very nice. He can jump, and in that moment, you see the arm at the side. So once again here, the arm is at the side, opening, very nice to see here, the ankle, and to shoot around the goalkeeper. Now the arm is not here, it's extended. Like I told you before, this is the special movement here. Once again, in this slow motion, very nice to see opening that ankle. And from that position up, now all variations of shots are possible, like this lob over the goalkeeper. So basically running in and then receiving the ball while moving, opening the ankle and finalizing. In women's handball, there's a very hot player, we might say. It's Radicevic. She's really a fighter. And she is a right winger with high quality too. So you can see her jumping in now. Now the way was from 9-meter line crosses sideline. This is the straight move. We call this line winger, whereas this is the winger from the corner. So it's a different movement inside from those two positions. But now you can see her jumping, rotating in the upper part of the body. Don't give the player in defense any chance to intercept the ball. And then slightly in the moment she touches the ground, the ball. Now she's coming more from the corner and a lob. So basically the position for jumping in is same, but now from this position, she can make the variations. And she's a very good defender. You can see her here in the defense, intercepting the ball and very quick then move to the fast break. Now, one more example from a player from a youth team, and you can see how he's doing that. So please take care for some small variations. One variation now is here, coming from the corner, jumping, waiting, late shooting, jump, wait, and now shoot. Second is here, shoot. So it's a quick shooting. Yeah? You see the difference in the timing. Now he's coming, already on the move before the ball is coming, receiving the ball, going up and shooting very fast. So this is something the player should be able to make some variations. Timing of the shooting. Now he's coming, moving around. Outside and inside. So these are the different variations we have here. The outside move, the inside move, always according to situation. Winning the one-on-one situation, creating the game advantage, first I mentioned, is possible in the wing too. So, to the gap outside, to the gap inside. So defense never knows what happens. So circulation of the ball, finalizing from the wing. Now, this one is the last quite important one. You see him now moving a little bit inside, stopping on the right leg, passing the ball to the backcourt player, but immediately moving back to the corner. And this is something you know as open the central area, inside, outside, and then we go. So once again, inside, outside, and go again. Okay. I have to hurry up a little bit and go to the pivot position. The pivot position is a position which is very important in handball for sure, but it's the player who is taking the position inside the central area and inside the defense. So this position is not involved in the ball circulation and not involved in the build-up phase. So the pivot players, they have only very few ball contacts and they depend on the backcourt positions. So they have some tasks to support the players in attack, especially by screening on one side. But on the other side, they really depend on what the backcourt players are preparing for them. Okay, now tasks of the pivot players. First of all, without ball, open the central area. It's not said that a pivot always must be positioned in the center of the court. Can take a position outside, no problem. Second, with the ball, finalize the attack, because then normally the player is very close to the 6-meter line. So in that moment, we cannot come closer. We have to finalize the attack. Throwing efficiency should be around 90%, but this is not only when they finalize, this is when they are stopped because of penalties. So in 9 of 10 situations, when a ball is with the pivot, he should make a goal or he should make a movement one-on-one that can only be stopped illegally, and so penalty is given. Okay. In some situations, the players in the pivot position need to forward the ball and give the ball to another player before the opponent's defense can interrupt the game. Okay, now specific elements for the pivot players. First of all, create the position advantage second dimension. Just remember what we said before. So this is the situation, or this is the action they do at their personal opponent. Second is the screen. So take a good position to or beside a defender of another attacker, normally the one with the ball. But take care, screen, this is a type of cooperation, we will talk about that later in our presentations, is a question of timing first, and it must be worked out according to the rules. Because nowadays the referees, they take very much care about how the screen is set it. So this must be done according to rules. Second is, because the defense is all around them, they have to catch the ball under pressure from the defense. So catching with both hands, okay. Catching with one hand looks a little bit better, or is something which is quite common from good players in defense, in pivot position. And then to orientate, where is the goal? Rotate one and the other direction, jump, throw, and this is something which is important too, come down, touch down on the ground without getting injured. So this is something they must learn too. And again, there are some variations they need to have against the specific movements of the goalkeepers, because sometimes goalkeepers really are good reading the game. They know that the next pass will come to the pivot and they step out and decrease the space. And the pivot, who is catching the ball, cannot see the goalkeeper. So by the time he turns around, he's completely surprised from that open positioning of the goalkeeper, then very quick must make a decision for instance, a lob or a ball around the legs of the goalkeeper. Okay, now again, some examples. First is Bartosz Jurecki, former pivot from Poland, and you can see a real fighter in the pivot position. So, and this is something which is the development of handball in the last, let's say, 15 years for sure, that pivots are now really the strongest players on the court. They are tall, normally, and quite heavy, very athletic, so that by the time they are in ball possession, it's almost impossible to stop them. And this is why they need so much power. But on the other side, you can see that they are really good players to really catch every ball which is in front of them. So, and always make the turn and go to the goal. Now you see, this pass was given through the legs of the player in defense. So this means that the player in attack, the pivot, can see the ball very late, catches it, and then finalizing the attack. So catching the ball under pressure, even if there was a mistake, while falling, catch it with one hand, take it over to the other hand, and then without touching the line, finalizing. This is what those very tall players are really good in. So, and then good orientation in space. Now, backcourt is moving to the left, he is moving to the right, and so he is free. So again, a very nice example. Coming to the free space here, and then high efficiency in finalizing the attack. In women handball, the most successful player in pivot position and from my point of view, very best is Heidi Løke from Norway. She is the only player I know to catch the ball in the same way with the right and the left hand, and to shoot with the right and the left hand. So see her again, fighting spirit, as we said. Defense cannot stop her. Even two tall players in defense are around her, rotating, jumping. So catch the ball with one hand, turn around on the spot, jump and shoot. But now you can see in this picture, catching the ball with the left hand and shooting with the right. So it's just using both hands. Now, catching the ball with the right hand, but from the rotation of the body, shooting with the left hand. And this is something really very, very good. So that's why I like this player so much, because she's so flexible in that. Catching right, shooting left. And once again, the same here, catching and shooting with the other hand. So this is what this player is doing. And in the last video here, we can see once again how much work pivot has to do to support the other players. So try to screen. It's not possible. Okay, move here, try to screen. Once again, run free. Again, set the screen here, run free, and then you go. So in all these elements, or in all these attack actions, the pivot was not in ball possession, but as you can see, constantly he's trying to do something for his teammates and for himself. And finally, a gap is opened. So a last example for this, and you can see the way how cooperation is done. First is inside screen for the wing player. Second is outside screen for the backcourt player when the ball is coming back. Okay. So once again, in that attack, outside screen at the wing, and after ball circulation, inside screen for the half attacker. So this is the way it is done. And then we can see some nice movements, nice actions from the last World Championship of the men, what pivots are doing. So this is from German team. A nice pass, always ready to catch the ball, okay? From Iceland, you can see how difficult it is to bring the ball to the pivot, but still he's catching with one hand. So the ball is going here. Oh, I'm sorry for that. Once again. So use that one. So come here and then catching the ball while falling and finalize the action. So turning on the spot, jumping. So it's almost impossible for the defense to control that player. Same here, turning to the other side. So both sides of turns are important. And finally, a nice one to continue the passing. Catch it and give the ball again under pressure to somebody who is free. This is lovely because before the defense can stop, he passes the ball. Okay, so this was the end of the presentation. I hope that the transmission of the video was good. And now we can close it and open the chat. Okay, so going through the questions. We're training our back players to play the horizontal, not the vertical. That's why our back players are not shooting outside the 9 meter, even the defense is not coming out. Change the attacking system to play. Yes, I think you should do, because if defense adapts in a way, you have to find another answer. And good players can do the same, shooting from there and shooting from there. That's right. What is the reason which men do not circulate fast in comparison to women? Okay, this question is easy to answer. Men are more athletic than women, and very often you can see that men are using 3 steps, and with maximum power they accelerate towards the goal. They don't need this circulation, they don't need this movement before. They do it from the standing because they are so strong and they are so powerful. But this is only given for the professional players from the top international clubs. They train every day and they're really professionals. So with less physical preconditions, it must be more, the ball is circulated, and to make the game more fluent. That's the reason. In many positions, the coach must train his attackers to play handball for better result, as the game is very fast changing and having high demanding situations. Yeah. Okay, we have these profiles now of backward positions, wing positions, and pivot positions. But different players should at least be able to play in 2 positions. Each player should be able to work as a pivot, because as a wing player or as a backward player, you can run into the pivot area and then you have to move and behave like a pivot. Wing player must run in, for sure. Backcourt player can run, or if the wing is running in, backcourt player can move to the wing. And in that special area given there, they should be able to do something too. So the more positions the players are able to play, the better it is. There are two types of variability we have. It's variability in actions and variability in positions. And a wide range of activities or wide range of variability is very, very much helpful. Okay, we will provide drills when we go to the individual techniques. No, I don't explain about two pivot players because this is a tactical thing. For the wings, you will see, yes, when we go for cooperation, PDF files should be distributed from the Handball Federation of India. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, ball circulation and pressure attack. Not understood. So, if you pass the ball very fast, receive pass, tack, 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 then it's a high-speed ball circulation because the ball is given from one position to the other very fast. But if you take the ball, move to the gap, and pressurize the defense, then you have to take 3 steps, maybe bounce, go to the gap, draw the defense, and in the moment when the defense is coming, then you make the decision to pass to the next one. So if every player is doing this, every player needs some time and some possession of the ball, time for possession of the ball to pressure the defense and give the pressure, go deep into the defense. And this is something which is not a fast ball circulation. Okay. 80 roles of each position player, center back player. So most effective basic standing position of pivot player. There are different positions used to learn these attacking skills. We try to develop this in Germany from 13, 14 years on. But sometimes we cannot be sure whether a player in that category of age will finally be a backcourt player or will finally be a pivot. So we try to build it up a little bit, but finally we have to keep the profile open. Maybe later on they will play on different positions. So for instance, the really famous German wing player, Uwe Gensheimer, left wing player, he was playing as a backcourt player up to 21 years, and then he specialized as a wing. Okay. So fast ball circulation, we will do that in our practical sessions for the different techniques, because in the next presentations, starting from tomorrow, it's the first one about ball handling and dribbling, the second one about pass and catch, the third one, this is then next week, it's about throwing, and number 4 is about the basic attack movements, and then again drills will come in. In this presentation today, there were not so many drills, or there were no drills. It was just a prescription of the profiles. Okay, so now I come back to the question which was given to me or forwarded from me to me from Mr. Mahinda about the it was about the solving of the screen situation. Okay, now I try to open the presentation, defense cooperation again. Yeah, it is here. And in this defense cooperation, we had this one example. It was here. So now in that scene, you can see you can see the players in attack using a screen. So this is the screen moment. Now, defense has two ways to react on that. One way is stay, second is switch. These are the two basic ways we have, so that at the end it's a 2-on-2 for the or from the side of the defense. So in this situation here, you can see they switch. So it's the tall defender who was before center defender against the pivot. He steps out now and is responsible for backcourt player. Whereas the little bit more short defender who was open here is moving around the pivot, taking the position between opponent and goal. So he's in a good position again. See it once more. So now you see they switch. This is the moment. So this is one way to avoid an advantage out of that cooperation screening. But it would be possible to do it the other way around. So by the time the player, the pivot player, is moving in the position to set the screen, in that moment, some information must be given, announcement from the defender of the pivot, and then it's possible for the half defender to step out. And if he's stepping out, it's no proper situation for a screen anymore given. So then he will continuously follow the backcourt player, whereas the center defender will continuously follow the pivot. Then they stay. This is possible too. And this is the variation I prefer. So go in front. So two options to solve the screen. One is to stay, one is to switch. In stay, half defender stepping out. In switch, half defender sinking back and taking over pivot. So these are the two options, and this is the way players can solve that. Okay, so I hope that this question is answered. Mr. Mohinder, Mr. Harinder,
thank you very much, Mr.
from your side?
Thank you very much, Mr. Klaus. We are very thankful, and you have explained in a nice manner. Hopefully, our coaches might have understood, because this is a very easier topic, and you have shown us and the diagrams and the videos, and told us the individual profile of the player, how the back player, how the wing player, and the pivot player. So I think there will be no doubt in future also, and we know that when you will come in group or team will be little hard. So thank you very much, Mr. Klaus. You have answered the question also. So now we will discuss in Hindi with our coaches. So thank you very much. Thank you very much.
See you tomorrow.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. So, dear coaches, आपने जो क्लास का आज इंडिविजुअल अटैकिंग प्रोफाइल, the pre-demands of the wing player, pivot player, and back players, what are the duties, he has explained. So in abbreviation, there is a little problem because we were using some others, but we will explain if you will ask us. Now, I will request Mr. C.P. Singh to brief in Hindi for 10 to 12 minutes. Then we will think that if they are coming with the answer, so we will give their answer if they are coming with questions. Sorry. So now hand over to C.P. Singh. Mr. CP Singh. इधर आ जा। हो रहा है इधर हो रहा है हो गया Can you hear Mr. CP Singh? इधर आ जा। So some technical problem is there, so we can come within few seconds back. We are coming to you within seconds. So there is a little bit technical problem. तो इधर आ जाना। Mr. Sarun Arora, are you hearing us?
على قناة الأعلى
Hello. So friends, good afternoon. So there were some technical problems. So जैसा कि आपको पता है मिस्टर क्लॉज ने के बारे में बताया, सॉरी अटैक इंडिविजुअल अटैक्स के बारे में इंट्रोड्यूस किया आपको, एंड दिस वाज द फर्स्ट लेक्चर, और उसमें मेनली जो उन्होंने बताया कि व्हाट आर द पोजीशंस, बेसिक पोजीशंस, मोड ऑफ टैक्टिक्स, फंक्शंस क्या होंगे उनके, उसके बारे में बताया। सो उसमें उन्होंने स्टार्ट किया था विद द बैक प्लेयर्स। उस बैक प्लेयर्स में उन्होंने बताया कि व्हाट आर द पोजीशंस। सबसे पहले हमारे 3 बैक प्लेयर्स है, पोजीशन नंबर 2, 3 एंड 4। ये थोड़ा टर्मिनोलॉजी हम अपनी बात करेंगे। उन्होंने वर्ड यूज किया था सर्कुलेशन, जिसको हम यूज करते हैं बॉल रोटेशन। तो बैक प्लेयर के बारे में सबसे पहले हैंडबॉल में हर एक प्लेयर का एम होता है टू स्कोर ए गोल, और बैक प्लेयर्स उनकी जो पोजीशन उन्होंने बताई है दैट इज वेरी मच इन फ्रंट ऑफ द गोल पोस्ट के सामने है। उनके पास डिफरेंट डिस्टेंस से भी गोल मारने की पॉसिबिलिटीज है, जिसमें वो लॉन्ग शूट जोन जिसको बोलते हैं, वो 9 मीटर के बाहर से भी थ्रो गोल करते हैं, और टैक्टिकल ग्रुप टैक्टिक्स या टीम टैक्टिक्स को कॉम्बिनेशन से अप्लाई करके वो पेनिट्रेट भी करते हैं 6 मीटर के इनसाइड 6 मीटर, और वहां से गोल मारते हैं। उसके बाद उनके पास मैक्सिमम मूवमेंट्स करने के लिए स्पेस है, वो स्पेस विड्थ में भी है और डेप्थ में। विड्थ मीन्स टुवर्ड्स द साइड लाइंस, और डेप्थ मीन्स 11-12 मीटर्स, समटाइम्स वो 6 मीटर 7 मीटर्स। वो मूवमेंट्स करने के लिए उनके पास बहुत स्पेस वहाँ पे अवेलेबल होती है। और उसके बाद जो बिल्डअप फेज है हमारा अटैक का, दैट इज द 4th फेज। आफ्टर अपनी बेसिक पोजीशंस लाने के बाद जब भी हम कोई स्ट्रेटजी अप्लाई करेंगे या अपना टैक्टिकल मूवमेंट्स अप्लाई करेंगे, तो उसको भी बिल्डअप फेज बोलेंगे। उसमें मैक्सिमम जो इन्वॉल्वमेंट होता है हमारा बैक प्लेयर्स के उसमें होगा, वो आपस में मैक्सिमम टाइम करते हैं। और एक डिसएडवांटेज है कि उनके सामने एक स्ट्रॉन्ग ओपोनेंट होते हैं जिसको बोलते हैं डिफेंसिव वॉल। अदरवाइज मैक्सिमम बॉल रोटेशन होते हैं, और वो प्लेयर सिर्फ अपने आपस में बैक प्लेयर्स में बॉल रोटेट करने के लिए रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी नहीं है, वो विंग प्लेयर्स और पीपी के साथ भी कोऑर्डिनेट करते हैं, कोऑपरेट करते हैं, एंड रिक्वायरमेंट्स के हिसाब से दे पास द बॉल टू द विंग प्लेयर्स आल्सो। उसके बाद में टास्क जो बताया गया उसमें उन्होंने कहा कि वो ओपन और उनका जो है सेंट्रल एरिया में मैक्सिमम मूवमेंट्स, और बॉल सर्कुलेशन करते हैं वो बॉल स्पेस के साथ, क्रिएट द गेम एडवांटेज। यहाँ से जितने भी हमारे आपने देखा होगा ऑफेंसिव टैक्टिक्स जितनी भी होंगी उसमें किसी ना किसी बैक प्लेयर्स की इन्वॉल्वमेंट जरूरी होती है। तो डिसीजन मेकिंग एबिलिटी उनकी होगी, और थ्रोइंग एफिशिएंसी के बारे में उन्होंने बताया है कि 50% एफिशिएंसी है थ्रोइंग की। उसका रीजन यही है कि वो लॉन्ग शूट जोन से थ्रो करते हैं, तो पॉसिबिलिटीज वहाँ पे जो डिफेंसिव वॉल है वहां से गोल रुकने की पॉसिबिलिटी ज्यादा होगी, और गोलकीपर के पास सफिशिएंट टाइम होता है उसके थ्रोइंग एक्शन को देखने का, एंड ही अकॉर्डिंगली गोलकीपर एडजस्ट हिज मूवमेंट। तो उसने एक चीज और यहाँ पे बताई है जो यूजुअली सभी को पता है, जो सिलेक्शन ऑफ द प्लेयर्स पोजीशन के हिसाब से, लेफ्ट विंग या लेफ्ट बैक जो होगा हमारा वो राइट हैंडर होगा, और राइट बैक जो होगा हमारा लेफ्ट हैंडर होगा। उसका रीजन ये है कि जब स्कोर करते हैं तो उनकी डायनल मूवमेंट है, उनका कोशिश है गोल पोस्ट के सामने के आने के लिए। तो ये फिजिकल रिक्वायरमेंट्स के हिसाब से भी उन्होंने उसको बताया गया है। उसके बाद जो थर्ड पॉइंट है इसमें जो टास्क में सेकंड पॉइंट है, टू क्रिएट द गेम एडवांटेज। अब उस गेम एडवांटेज में उन्होंने 3 डायमेंशंस बताई गई है। एक डायमेंशंस में उसको क्या है कि प्लेयर, उसको आपने डायग्राम्स भी दिखाया था, प्लेयर के पास बॉल है, फेंट करके वो बॉल करने की कोशिश करता है, तो वो पहला डायमेंशन है, हिमसेल्फ इज फ्री। बट इन केस अगर डिफेंसिव प्लेयर वहां पे शिफ्ट करता है तो वो अपना जो नेबरिंग प्लेयर है उसको पास करेगा। सो थर्ड डायमेंशन में उसने पोजीशन एडवांटेज बताने की कोशिश की है। पोजीशन एडवांटेज मीन्स अगर उसमें क्या होगा, जो प्लेयर विदाउट बॉल है, फ्री स्पेस निकलता है जहां पे भी है, वो एक उसकी पोजिशनल एडवांटेज है। उसका गेम एडवांटेज कब होगा, जब उसका टीममेट उसको वहां पे पास देने की कोशिश करेगा। तो बेसिक आइडिया आज की क्लास का उसका यही था कि कैसे हमने बैक प्लेस का सिलेक्शन, उसके मोमेंट्स, उसके टास्क, उसकी रिक्वायरमेंट के बारे में बताया गया। उसी तरीके से उसने विंग के बारे में बताया। सबसे पहला पॉइंट था उसका पुअर शूटिंग एंगल। हमें मालूम है कि जो विंग प्लेयर होते हैं वो आउटसाइड जो हमारा कोर्ट की विड्थ है उसमें खेलेंगे, तो उसके लिए अपॉर्चुनिटीज एक ही साइड में बनती है, और हम वहाँ पे पॉसिबल सिलेक्शन यही करते हैं कि एक्यूट एंगल से या नैरो एंगल से जो गोल मारने की जिस भी प्लेयर की एफिशिएंसी है उस प्लेयर को हम वहाँ पे चांस देते हैं। एंड स्पेस इन द विड, जब स्पेस कम है क्योंकि उसका एक साइड एक ही सबसे हम बोलते हैं कि क्लोज वॉल हो जाएगा, गोल पोस्ट के बाहर से तो जाएगा नहीं वो, तो उसकी इनसाइड टुवर्ड्स द 7 मीटर लाइन उसकी मूवमेंट्स है, इसीलिए उसने बताएगा। दूसरा डिपेंड करेगा कि ओपोनेंट्स ने कौन सा डिफेंस सिस्टम अडॉप्ट किया है, ऑफेंसिव डिफेंस है या डिफेंसिव डिफेंस है। उसने डिफेंस में एग्जांपल दिए थे कि ओपन डिफेंस क्या होगा कि जो डिफेंस है वो विंग को और बाहर निकालने की कोशिश करता है, जिसकी उसकी स्कोरिंग या शूटिंग अपॉर्चुनिटीज वहाँ पे कम हो जाएंगी। और फोर्थ पॉइंट हमने जितना भी देखा है उसमें ये कि जितने भी कॉम्बिनेशंस, टीम कॉम्बिनेशंस या ग्रुप कॉम्बिनेशन, मेजोरिटी, सभी नहीं बोलता मैं, मेजोरिटी की बात करता हूँ, उसमें इन्वॉल्वमेंट विंग प्लेयर्स का कम होता है। तो जो बिल्डअप फेज होता है, कई बार उसके पास बॉल सर्कुलेशन में भी बॉल जो पासिंग है वो भी सिचुएशन के हिसाब से कम होती है। और वीकर अपोजिशन इन द डिफेंस, ये पॉइंट उसका था। उसके बाद उसने टास्क उसके बताया गया है। उसका मेन टास्क क्या होता है कि हम जितना भी अपने विंग्स को स्प्रेड करेंगे, आउटसाइड करेंगे, उतना ही सेंटर प्लेयर के पास स्कोरिंग अपॉर्चुनिटी ज्यादा रहेंगी, पेनिट्रेशन होगा, पीपीज के लिए स्कोरिंग अपॉर्चुनिटी वहाँ पे ज्यादा पॉसिबल हो जाएगी। और जहाँ पे भी कैप्स मिलेगा, फर्स्ट और सेकंड जो डिफेंसिव प्लेयर, जो हाफ डिफेंसिव प्लेयर उसने 6-0 और 5-1 में बताया था, उसके कैप करने की जो अपनी इंडिविजुअल टैक्टिक्स है, फेंटिंग मूवमेंट्स है या विद द कोऑपरेशन ऑफ द नेबरिंग प्लेयर है, वहाँ पे अटैक करके तो सेंटर में और डिफेंस को डिस्टर्ब करके बैक प्लेयर्स के लिए पॉसिबल चांसेस क्रिएट वहाँ पे कर सकता है। उसका फिर कोऑपरेशन बैक प्लेयर्स के साथ है, पीपीज के साथ है, वो आपका टेक्टिकल जो प्लानिंग होगी हमारे उसमें वो हेल्प करता है। अब यहाँ पे हमने बताया कि 70% शूटिंग एफिशिएंसी है, बॉल मारने की जो पॉसिबिलिटीज है उसका स्कोरिंग एफिशिएंसी दैट इज 70%। उसका रीजन यही है, आफ्टर फेंट जो विंग प्लेयर गोल मारता है तो देर इज ओनली द गोलकीपर एंड द अटैकिंग प्लेयर, सो स्कोरिंग पॉसिबिलिटीज आर मोर देयर। अब उसमें विंग के स्पेशल एलिमेंट्स में उन्होंने बताया कि जो हमारे शूटिंग आर्म है डिफरेंट फेजेस में, वो उसका मूवमेंट्स के ऊपर डिपेंड करता है। ये नहीं कि हम बॉल को यहीं से थ्रो करेंगे, एम क्या होता है टू गेट द वाइड शूटिंग एंगल, एक्सटेंड द थ्रोइंग आर्म एंड टेक जंप टुवर्ड्स द 7 मीटर लाइन। अगर वो नैरो एंगल से जंप करके वहाँ पे पोस्ट की तरफ जंप करेगा तो उसका शूटिंग एंगल नैरो होगा और गोलकीपर अपनी पोजीशन अकॉर्डिंगली उसमें ले लेगा। अब नेक्स्ट जो है लेग वेरिएशन, राइट हैंडर है तो लेफ्ट से जंप लेता है, लेफ्ट राइट से, बट एडवांस जो आजकल जो रिक्वायरमेंट ऑफ हैंडबॉल हैविंग की, वही टीच किया जाता है कि ही मस्ट बी एबल टू टेक जंप विद बोथ द लेग्स। लेफ्ट हैंड है तो लेफ्ट से भी जंप ले सकता है, राइट हैंड है तो राइट से भी। और उसकी जो वेरिएशंस हैं, टैक्टिक्स, शूटिंग, आफ्टर द जंप, शिफ्टिंग द बॉल एक हाथ से दूसरे हाथ में और लैंडिंग इस पैर पे, वो एक वेरिएशन उसकी मोमेंट्स में। अब थ्रोइंग वेरिएशंस में है उसका लॉब और स्पिन। ये स्पिन यूजुअली डिपेंड करेगा हमारी प्लेइंग कंडीशंस के ऊपर, क्योंकि हम सीमेंटेड या ग्रास के ऊपर स्पिन थोड़ा मुश्किल हो जाता है। बट गोलकीपर की पोजीशन, अगर गोलकीपर एडवांस है, उसकी पोजीशन को देख के उसको लॉब डालना चाहिए। बट इफ द गोलकीपर्स हाइट इज मोर और वो ज्यादा एडवांस नहीं है, तो वहां पे उसको लॉब अवॉइड करना चाहिए। अब स्पेसिफिक मूवमेंट्स है उसकी, गोलकीपर कितना एडवांस आएगा, जैसे मैंने अभी लॉब के बारे में बताया, उसके बारे में उसने थोड़ा सा वो किया है। सो लास्ट में जो पीपी है, पीपी की भी जो पोजीशन बताया कि यूजुअली वी नो पीपी गोल पोस्ट के सामने 6 मीटर के ऊपर लेता है, और ये एक ऐसा प्लेयर है जो एक सैंडविच की तरह एक डिफेंस वॉल में काम करता है। तो उसका सेंट्रल एरिया में उसकी मूवमेंट्स गोल पोस्ट के सामने ही होगी, जो 6 और 9 मीटर के बीच में। उसका काम क्या है कि जो अगर उसको पास किसी टैक्टिकल मूवमेंट के अकॉर्डिंग या जैसे ही बॉल रिसीव करेगा, तो मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम बॉल को स्कोर करने के उस एक्शन को फाइनलाइज करता है विद द स्कोरिंग मूवमेंट, और यू कैन से थ्रो ऑन गोल। और उसकी स्कोरिंग अपॉर्चुनिटीज उसने 90% बताई है। उसका रीजन यही है कि वो एक ऐसी आइडियल पोजीशन पे है, अगर थ्रो ऑन गोल की अपॉर्चुनिटी या बीट करके पॉसिबिलिटी मिलती है, तो ओपन गोल माउथ उसके सामने है। तो इसीलिए उसको 90% उसको बताया गया। और उसके बाद उसने बोला फॉरवर्ड बॉल बिफोर द डिफेंस। कई बार हम क्या करते हैं कि पीपी को बॉल मिल गया बट ही इज नॉट एबल टू टेक ए थ्रोन बॉल, तो वो बॉल को वापस भी अपने टीममेट को पास करता है, जिससे कि ही कैन सर्कुलेट द बॉल अगेन। उसके बेसिक एलिमेंट्स में एडवांटेज पोजीशन होगा, क्रिएट करेगा, गैप्स करेगा। एक पीपी जब भी मूवमेंट करता है तो मैक्सिमम डिफेंसिव प्लेयर को वहाँ पे डिस्टर्ब करता है कि कंसंट्रेशन वहाँ पे डिफेंस का पीपी के पास ही होगा। स्क्रीन लगाएगा, थ्रोइंग एक्यूरेसी जो होगी उसको अकॉर्डिंग टू रूल। अब यहाँ पे रूल्स का मतलब ये कि एक अप्रोच टू द अपोनेंट रूल को फॉलो करना है विदाउट कटिंग द 6 मीटर लाइन। एंड वेरियस एंड स्पेसिफिक मूवमेंट्स ऑफ द गोलकीपर की मूवमेंट्स को सबसे डिफिकल्ट शूटिंग के लिए पीपी की सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम क्या होती है, व्हेन ही रिसीव्स द बॉल, उसकी बैक यूजुअली गोलकीपर की तरफ हो, और बॉल लेने के बाद गोल मारने के लिए जब टर्न करता है तो एक नई सिचुएशन होती है। तो वहाँ पे उसकी गोलकीपर की मूवमेंट्स को एनालाइज करना, वॉच करना, उसके बाद थ्रो ऑन गोल करना हुआ, और उसके बाद रोटेशन और हिप थ्रो या जो भी मूवमेंट्स उसके पॉसिबल नहीं होगा, बट कौन सी सिलेक्शन है शूट का, एंगल को देख के वहां पे उसको डिसाइड करना है। तो बेसिकली आज के उसमें टॉपिक में उसका यही था कि व्हाट बेसिक पोजीशन, कहाँ पे पोजीशन लेता है, उसकी मूवमेंट्स, उसकी रिक्वायरमेंट्स, फिजिकल रिक्वायरमेंट्स, उसके बारे में उसने बताया गया। यहाँ पे स्पेसिफिक किसी एक सिस्टम के बारे में बात नहीं की, उसने उनको सिर्फ ओवरऑल एक फर्स्ट इंट्रोडक्शन टाइप में अटैक्स के अटैकिंग प्लेयर के बारे में, उनकी क्वालिटीज के बारे में उन्होंने एलोबरेट किया। So this was all about the brief about today's topic. If you have any query, any question, you can ask.
Thank you very much, Mr. CP.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mehta.
You have explained in a nice manner. I think our coaches, they have understood very nicely. So if I will add one or two lines more to clarify our coaches in Hindi. So you have seen through the diagrams that the left back is having ball, उसके पास बॉल है, जो सेंटर बैक है वो रन फ्री करता है पिवट पोजीशन की तरफ, उसने 2 वर्सेस 2 जो दिखाया है। हमारे उसमें जो टर्मिनोलॉजी है जो हम पढ़ाते हैं वो ग्रुप टैक्टिक्स है, जिसमें एक प्रिपेयरिंग प्लेयर है, दूसरा कंक्लूडिंग प्लेयर है। सो इन सब के लिए जो उसने हमें नहीं बताया मगर हम लोग आपको जो बताते हैं वो ये है कि इंडिविजुअल प्लेयर भी है चाहे वो ग्रुप में है, कि फर्स्टली वी हैव टू सी दी इनिशियल पोजीशन और बेसिक पोजीशन ऑफ द प्लेयर। अगर वो कोर्ट प्लेयर है, बैक प्लेयर है, तो वो कहाँ पोजीशन लेता है। अगर डिफेंसिव प्लेयर 3-1 से खेल रहा है तो उसकी पोजीशन पीछे होगी। अगर वो 6-0 के अगेंस्ट खेल रहा है तो उसकी पोजीशन जो है वो 10 मीटर पे या 11 मीटर पे होगी। सो जिसकी पोजीशन इनिशियल जो है रिक्वायरमेंट के हिसाब से है कि उसने क्या करना है, वो जरूरी है। दूसरा, कौन सा रनवे यूज करना है। आपने देखा कि जो कतर का प्लेयर था स्यूबा, वो कहां से रन करता है, पोजीशन नंबर 4 से, और वो 3 से बॉल लेके जंप शूट हाई करता है बिकॉज ही इज ए टॉल एंड ही रन इन ए स्पीड। उसकी जो आदत है वो विदाउट बॉल रन करता है और रिसीव करता है, जंप करता है, मगर उसमें अपनी कैपेबिलिटी नहीं है कि वो प्लेयर को बीट करे। अगर आपको उसकी मूवमेंट भी देखनी है तो आप यूट्यूब पे जाके कतर के जितने भी मैच देखने हैं उसमें देखेंगे आप कि वो इंडिविजुअल प्रिपेयर नहीं करता, उसके लिए कोई दूसरा प्लेयर जो है वो प्रिपेयर करता है, वो कंक्लूड करता है। जैसे फ्री थ्रो में आपने देखा 2-1 सिचुएशन में उसने जंप शूट किया एंड ही इज वेरी टॉलर, सो ही कैन स्कोर विद द हेल्प ऑफ जंप शूट हाई। सो दूसरा रनवे जो मैं बोल रहा था, तीसरा क्या है, करेक्ट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम। जैसे वो बोल रहा था कि आपको भागने का टाइम भी सही चाहिए, बॉल रिसीविंग का जो प्लेयर प्रिपेयरिंग प्लेयर है उसने भी एक्यूरेट पास करना है। फिर उसके बाद कंक्लूडिंग में आपका जंप शूट है, जंप फॉल शॉट है, साइड फॉल शॉट है, लॉब है, स्पिन है। सो विच टेक्निक यू आर गोइंग टू परफॉर्म, सो वो बिल्कुल राइट होनी चाहिए। इफ दीज 4 पॉइंट्स आर विद यू एज ए हैंडबॉल प्लेयर और हैंडबॉल कोच, तो जो हमारा प्लेयर है वो इसको अच्छी तरह से कंक्लूड कर सकता है। ही कैन बी ए गुड और चैलेंजिंग प्लेयर इन दी टीम। सो दूसरा जो उसने सीपी सर ने बताया कि पिवट का जो प्लेयर है, इसको अगर हम अपनी टर्मिनोलॉजी में करें जो आजकल हम इसको यूज कर रहे हैं, ये डिफेंस को डिस्टर्ब करता है विदाउट बॉल एंड विद बॉल। विद बॉल वो स्कोर करता है और 3, 4 or 5% he pass the ball back because he is very taller, very heavier. He is only giving the ball, the players are only passing the ball to him when he is free. So he helps to erect the screen, he helps to create a gap on the 6 meter. When back player is coming, he run without ball to the left side or to the right side along with his own defender. So he is very helpful player for the back player to perform a throw on goal from the 9 meter or breakthrough from the 6 meter. So there is a variation for the back player only, not for the wing player or for the pivot player. Wing player only jump shoot long, take off leg or alternative leg, or turn off or fall shot. But the back player have a lot of different techniques to perform throw on goal, jump shoot high, jump shoot long, hip throw, side straight shot, lob, fall shot also, from the near shoot zone, from the long shoot zone, from the wing also. But variation is there because of his position, because he is having in front of the goal post. So he is having a wider angle, so he can perform better throw on goal. So he can pass the ball to PP, he can pass the ball to wing. Wing always depend on the back player. So right wing always depend on the right back, and left back only depend on the left back. So if these players are not preparing any action, अगर ये कोई प्रिपेयर नहीं करते, पेनिट्रेट नहीं करते, विंग के डिफेंडर को अट्रैक्ट नहीं करते, तो विंग प्लेयर जो है वो थ्रो ऑन गोल नहीं कर सकता, इनसाइड तो जा ही नहीं सकता, बिकॉज जो इनसाइड डिफेंडर है, जो हाफ डिफेंडर है, वो उसको अलाउ नहीं करेगा। नैरो एंगल जिसको हम बोलते हैं, उसने बोला गोल लाइन, हम उसको बोलते हैं डेड एंगल, नैरो एंगल, तो वो उधर जाएगा तो गोलकीपर विल सेव। सो वी नीड इन अटैक कोऑपरेशन एंड द प्रिपेयरिंग एक्शन शुड बी वेरी वेरी हार्ड। सो आई थिंक आप सभी को, क्योंकि अभी इंडिविजुअल है, ग्रुप में और बेटर होगा, टीम में और बेटर होगा। तो थैंक यू वेरी मच। ओके, नाउ मिस्टर हैरी विल से समथिंग।
Okay, but I want to just say some few words regarding the training of back players. So whenever you are training, आप जब भी बैक्स की ट्रेनिंग करते हैं तो आप डिफरेंट जो पोजीशंस हैं, तो उन पोजीशंस की आप पोजीशनल ट्रेनिंग कीजिए। डिफरेंट जो मूवमेंट्स हैं टुवर्ड्स द गोल, उनके बारे में आप और उनको प्ले डाउन करके ट्रेनिंग कीजिए, सो दैट आपका जो बैक है उसकी जितनी भी मूवमेंट्स हैं टुवर्ड्स गोल, नॉन थ्रोइंग, थ्रोइंग आर्म साइड और स्ट्रेट, तो वो परफेक्ट हो जाए, ये ध्यान रखिए। और डिफरेंट पोजीशंस, जो भी बैक की पोजीशंस हैं, और बैक की पोजीशंस जब आप 3-3 खेल रहे हैं तब, और जब आप 2-4 खेल रहे हैं तब, तो दोनों की जो पोजीशंस हैं वो आपको पता होनी चाहिए कि इस सिस्टम के अंदर मैंने ऐसा खेलना है, और 3-3 के अंदर मेरे पास ये पोजीशन है और मैं ऐसे ऐसे गोल की तरफ जा सकता हूं। समझ में आया? उसके बाद आपकी जो है कॉपरेशन स्टार्ट हो जाती है दूसरे प्लेयर के साथ, भले आप लेफ्ट, आप विंग के साथ हैं या सेंटर बैक के साथ हैं, तो ये कॉपरेशन आपके साथ साथ ट्रेनिंग के अंदर इंक्लूडेड होनी चाहिए। ओके, हाँ, तो ये सिर्फ बैक्स के लिए था। धन्यवाद आपका। सुनाई
आप तो इंट्रोडक्शन सिर्फ उसने बताने का बताया ही, बता दूं